Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, big red letters, Alex, that's me. In white letters, the Ramble, that's the program, and we're here until midnight tonight. Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope it all went well for you. Nothing happened. Just did whatever I do, which is next to nothing. But at this point, I think what we should do is probably bring in our old friend. Here he is with a shot from where he was. Right, that's your vacation shots.
You know,
This is Phil Meyer, by the way, in case you can't read.
Hey,
Yeah.
I want to thank you for taking my call. I just want to tell you I'm a first-time caller and a short-time listener. But I want to dedicate the next song to somebody special, to Bertha. Will you do this dedication?
No, I don't take requests.
Oh, well, is this America's Got Talent?
No. This is
fuck you.
This is America.
Hey,
This is America doesn't have much talent.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
This is Death Valley behind me. I tried to load a couple of shots up I took on the iPhone, but I didn't have time to make them the right size. So one of them cut off.
You took that as you were driving, right?
I stopped on the side of the road.
Well, I can see the side of your window.
No, that's my green screen.
No. What?
Yeah. No,
the other side. Other side, right there. Yeah.
That's my green screen where it's not covering.
Leave it to you to have a defective green screen.
Well, I can't make it the full width because there's not enough area in this room. There's one more pole that goes on the thing. So this is the way it's got to be.
Yeah, well, who did I see? I went somewhere. Everybody's selling green screens now because everybody wants them for their Zoom calls.
I think it's only the people on your panel want the green screens.
No, but I saw, where was it? Where did I go today? I was looking at some site for something, and they were selling green screens. And I'm going, everybody's selling green screens.
You ought to put them on the GabNet store and join the party.
Yeah, the big GabNet store we have. Have you gone over there, folks, and gotten your Alex Bennett T-shirts and your Ramble T-shirts? There's even a Phil Meyer T-shirt.
It's got a skull and cross.
Well, actually, it's a recycled T-shirt that says "I was stupid."
You see that? That's my logo there, because it's got the headphones.
Is it green?
Yeah, of course it's green.
See, so it's floating in midair.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see. I spent 6 days in Nevada, at Pahrump, Nevada. The best place to eat is a steakhouse in a casino. Other than that, there was a Benihana knockoff, and that's also served sushi. And I didn't get sick, so.
Oh, okay. The Pahrump casino. Yeah, but if they had a steakhouse, you went there all the time, right?
Yes.
How many times did you eat there in your 6-day period?
2, but it would have been 3, but they were closed yesterday. The steakhouse was.
They closed on Memorial Day, huh?
Either that or Monday.
So where did you eat?
This Ojeda, hibachi.
How many people are there in Pahrump these days? Because
people?
Pahrump was the name of a town that we used to mention all the time because it was a funny name.
Yes.
Blah, 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 Pahrump, Nevada. Yuck, 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 yuck. Lots of laughs.
Yeah, it's a real yuckster.
It's also
There,
known for one other thing, of course. You brought it up to me, and I knew it.
Art Bell.
Art Bell lived there.
Yeah. There was a place on the side of the road that was selling alien figures. And if I had room in my car and some money to throw away, like I won at the casino or something, which of course I didn't even bet not one bet. Walked through, went to the steakhouse, had a wonderful steak, went back to the room, cleaned my gun, and went to sleep. So these alien figures, they were green and they looked like regular aliens.
Yeah, well, because that's near Area 54, right?
51.
51, whatever. I don't know what it was.
Studio 54, they won't let you
Studio
in.
54, Area 51, right?
Area 51.
Yeah.
So it's also near I think it's not too far from Edwards Air Force Base.
You know what's incredible about Nevada? Once when I was back in New York and we were doing Midnight Blue, my friend Steve Gruberg and I went to Vegas for the annual convention there of the NAB to try and sell Midnight Blue for syndication to a lot of cable systems.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my friend, I didn't realize, was a habitual gambler,
Oh.
addicted gambler.
Iliac.
And we got there, and 5 minutes into being there, he disappears for 3 days.
Wow.
I've got to do the whole convention by myself. It was a total failure. And then he shows up, and I say, "Where were you?" And I don't know where I was. He went into this thing, right? He finally gave up gambling and became a very big person in Gamblers Anonymous. But that's not the story I'm wanting to tell you. But why did I bring that up? Oh, yeah. So we decided, at one point before he took off, we decided to go out and do a little documentary for Midnight Blue of the Chicken Ranch, which was this whorehouse in, I'm trying to remember the name of the town now. But it doesn't matter because it was one of those towns where if you run the stop sign, you're out of the town. Okay.
I've been through a few of those.
Yeah. And so on the way to the chicken ranch, we couldn't find it. We took a side road thinking that was the road. And then we found ourselves out in the middle of nowhere. And then we knew we were really in the middle of nowhere when we come upon a sign that says, "Caution, nuclear testing zone."
Yeah, that's just where you want to be.
Yeah, yeah. No, Wadsworth? No, that wasn't the name of the city. There was a town named Wadsworth that had whorehouses in it,
Yeah.
where you would go in and get your Wadsworth.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
blown off the
But
face.
I'm trying to remember what the name of the little town was that we, and it was one of those kind of towns that was like, you felt like you were in North by Northwest, where there's this road and a crossroad and that's it.
Well,
And they literally took a chicken coop and turned it into a whorehouse.
well, hey, takes
That's
all.
ingenuity.
Yeah. Well, some guys are necrophiliacs. Other guys like chicken coops.
That's
What can I-
right. That's correct.
Uh,
Correct. Yeah.
So anyway, I had a good time. I tell you, on TV, there's nothing. It's commercials back to back. I was hoping I would see what's his name's commercial. Steve used to live in my town. Who's your friend, Steve?
My friend Steve.
Yeah, he's a
I had a
Canadian.
friend Steve who died.
No, this one's on your show once a week.
Oh, Stephen Pearl.
Even Pearl, I don't know why. I
Yeah,
can
but
remember.
he's a lawyer in
commercial.
for a lawyer commercial in Las Vegas. Now, you get the Las Vegas stations?
The only TV you get in Pahrump is Las Vegas stations.
Okay.
There is no.
So they didn't
Pahrump.
give you Netflix. They didn't give you
Nothing.
nothing.
This was Holiday Inn and Suites. And there was no suites. So anyway, I'm watching TV. It's back to back to back. It's worse than tuning into Gabnet and having to push skip at the beginning of the show.
Why would you push skip at the beginning of the show?
skip the commercial?
I don't. Oh, the commercials.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're not really commercials. announcements for our little network that we've been the same
No, no, not
spots
those.
we've been running over and over again for the last 3 years, and I've been too lazy to write new ones.
Alex, it's the YouTube commercials that go on before Gabnet. You know, as soon as you tune into
Oh,
Gabnet,
that.
got the YouTube commercials, and for me, it's have you donated to Trump lately? And I just push skip, and but
No reason to donate now.
no, I'll wait until 2024. But
I bet he doesn't live that long.
well, I think that he's going to just continue to make the effort that he's going to run, but really what he's going to do is create excitement around other candidates that he wants to help get elected.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the commercials.
If they're not in jail for like going out with young girls and things like that,
we'll see. You're jumping the gun. He's look at that hair.
Isn't he the weirdest looking guy? You got to admit, he looks like a cartoon character.
Yes, he does.
In fact, he looks like the guy on Family Guy, Giggity Giggity, that guy.
Oh, yeah, I don't really watch that, but I'm going to watch Kaminsky Method. I saw that it was on.
It's very good, actually.
Yeah.
There are only 6 episodes, but it's really good, and they had to do it without Alan Arkin because he didn't want to do it. He only signed up for 2 years.
Yeah.
And they decided to do a 3rd year. And
think
it really worked. It really worked.
Do you think Alan Arkin at his age he'd take the work?
Yeah, well, I mean, no, at his age, he probably, do you think I would like doing this every night? I'm exhausted.
Well, back to the ads. All right.
The ads.
So I'm looking for the Stephen Pearl ad. I watched enough of these ads that I said, come on, give me the Stephen Pearl ad. There was other injury guys advertising, but not the Stephen Pearl ad.
Really?
So I gave up on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing. Now, one other thing that Pahrump has that other places don't is every inch of land is for sale. You drive anywhere and it's for sale, and it's almost like, please take it. I don't want to pay the taxes anymore, which I don't think there's that much in the way of taxes, but you drive down the main street, a 1 acre commercial lot on the main street, right?
Yeah.
There's no real downtown. It's just a main street. It goes on for a few miles. $323,000. You could build a good sized strip mall there.
How many acres?
1 acre.
And
now,
how much?
323. But this is commercial. You could put a casino there if you got the license.
Well, not on an acre.
Well,
you can have little tiny little slot machines. There's an idea for you.
The aliens will park your car.
Right.
But, no, on an acre you could build a strip mall. Maybe 6, 8 stores.
Mm-hmm.
Even if each store gave you $2,000 a month in rent. 8 stores, 16,000, 323 plus the build out. What kind of build out would that need? Cement blocks?
Yeah, but then, who would come to it? There's nobody in that town.
Well, there's people that sell fireworks.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. Echo, what's the population? Echo, what's the population of Pahrump, Nevada?
In 2016, the population of Pahrump was 35,900 people.
Yeah, 35,900 people.
Well, that's pretty good for a place in the middle of the desert.
It's the old joke is it's not the middle of nowhere, but you can see it from there.
Oh, I was using that all week.
It's true. It's really quite a deal you got there.
Yeah. So I went to the shooting.
Yeah. Now tell them what you went to do, because this is almost in its own way bizarre. Okay.
I joined. I have a lifetime membership to a shooting academy called Front Sight, and
you have a lifetime membership.
lifetime membership. I can take as many courses as I want, as often as I want, for the rest of my life.
But you have to go to Pahrump, Nevada to do this?
Oh God, yes.
Really?
Yeah, the 6 weeks that I was, 6 days that I was there, coming from Walnut Creek to Pahrump and back, plus the driving around, I put on 1,350 miles on the car.
Really?
Yeah. Next time I'll rent one. And and I'll rent something big and luxurious. I'm not.
Yeah, you want to do, yeah.
Yeah. 1,350 miles. And that was, just going back and forth.
Kind of a highway boat, you could call
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. Big highway boat.
Highway yacht, yeah.
Something that seats 9.
Right.
So anyway, I get this certificate. Let's see. The seal says that I graduated.
What did you graduate from? You just shot your gun. You shot your load.
Oh, no, this was.
I mean, I shot my load a lot in my lifetime and never got a certificate.
I was impressed. Some of the things that they taught tactically were from the 80s, and they hadn't really changed to the newer procedures. But they let me shoot the way I shoot, and I was one of the few graduates that they give you a certificate of achievement if you make it through the course, but to graduate takes you got to pass a test at a certain level, and I did. And you know what? I enjoyed it. I'd go back again. I'd even take this course again.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. It was beneficial. It was fun. And these guys really run a tight ship. I was so impressed with their organization. From the time they checked you in the morning to the way they run their classes, it was nonstop. If you wanted to go to the bathroom, you had to walk away. They don't stop for you.
Well, what's to teach you? Excuse me, I have some kind of gargle in my throat. What was to teach you?
Well, it's the fundamentals of shooting, this class at least.
Yeah, but you know the fundamentals of shooting.
But when you have a coach that is coaching you, you can improve. You can get faster at drawing your gun from the holster. You can get more accurate. You could practice.
And to what end now are we talking about here? I mean, where are you practically going to use this knowledge?
Well,
drive-by shootings?
No, tyrannical governments when they
I see.
They're going to have to get through me. I'm the kind of.
Well, you could go join Michael Flynn's army.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that liberals hate because we stand up. And I tell you one thing about Pahrump: if there was a liberal there, they would have been tied to the back bumper of some guy's pickup truck.
You don't think there's a liberal in Pahrump, Nevada?
I don't think they did.
Echo, how many liberals are there in Pahrump, Nevada?
0.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Okay, she doesn't know that.
Yeah, that's because there aren't any living.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
How many Democrats?
Echo, how many Democrats live in Pahrump, Nevada?
Or registered in Pahrump?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
She doesn't have an answer for that.
Because there aren't any. It's definitely a Second Amendment haven. And if it wasn't 115 degrees, it was 102, 103 the days I was there. But in about 2 weeks, it'll be 115 degrees.
That's very nice.
And, it bakes you.
Yeah, well, that's the reason those people are all gun nuts, is because their brains have been fried.
Yeah, I understand. I even, look, I look like Trump.
Look at that. Yes, you got raccoon face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
you wore goggles, I imagine, right?
No, I wore shooting glasses. I don't know where I put them.
Shooting
around here somewhere. But I have ballistic shooting glasses that go around the sides so that things won't go in and hit your eye.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are special for shooting.
Yeah.
And I've got.
Well, I'm really happy that you had such a wonderful time.
I had a great time. I didn't even I didn't answer my phone from work once. I didn't take a call. I didn't text anybody to ask them, how things are going. This is the 6 days, 2 days of driving and 4 days of participation in the class. Uh, this is the first time I really decompressed in a long time.
Really?
Yeah. So I was, and you know what? Death Valley, I didn't have any intention on the way out to go through Death Valley, but Pahrump wouldn't come up on my automobile's GPS.
Really?
I'd start typing in Pahrump, it didn't come up. Although when I was in Pahrump, I could see all the streets there, but I didn't.
Did you spell it correctly?
Yeah, yeah.
Parumph?
Yeah. Par, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Pahrump.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used the telephone with Waze, and Waze took me off at this little podunk town called Baker, which is still in California.
I think I know Baker. Yeah.
It's on the 15.
Yeah, it's right on the edge of Death Valley, isn't it?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it told me to go up 127,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes right into Death Valley. And so I pulled up and I looked at this and I said, nah, this couldn't be the way. Look at this street. There's nothing here. I'm not taking this. So I turn around and I yell at Faye, look at the map. Not the map. I didn't have a map. I said, look at the phone map and tell me if 15 and 160 intersect. She says, yeah, they do. Well, 100 miles up in Las Vegas. So we're driving up a little bit, and then there's this big accident on the side of the road. A semi-tractor trailer truck the cab was so mangled. I said, Faye, there's no way anybody lived. And then there was a car that was a burned out Hulk. So and they're gathering up the pieces of everything, and there was a traffic jam maybe 8 miles long. So I turn around and I go back up this road, and sure enough, it took me through Death Valley, and I'm saying this thing is going on forever. So I get there and I get to Pahrump, and I said, the Death Valley is beautiful. There is so much natural beauty out there. The mountains,
well, deserts are alive. People think that deserts are dead and barren and so on, and they're not. They have
there's an ecosystem out there. I really wish that I could have spent even more time going through it. Mm-hmm. But what ended up happening was on the way back, I said to the instructor that was in the class, I said, should I take 160 into Vegas and then hit 15? And he said, no. He says, take this road. He says, it's got a name, but he says, you'll go 40, 50 miles and you'll wind up on 127, and then you'll wind up on 15. Sure enough, it was beautiful. I didn't pass any cars. I drove 80 miles and I didn't pass a car, not one, until I got close to Baker.
Yeah, I think that Death Valley, correct me if I'm wrong, is the lowest elevation in the United States, isn't it?
I don't know. There was no water there.
Yeah, well, that's what they call it, Death Valley.
Yeah. Well, you get way out there. It's you see the sand dune. Well, they're not dunes. These sand blown plateaus. And they look like
they're called dunes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they look like the Greek amphitheater or something.
Yeah.
They just naturally structured. They're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was glad. Not only did I go to Death Valley, I was glad that I took the course.
Good for you. Good for you.
I thought it was going to be a slam dunk, and I had to work for it.
So you moving to Pahrump anytime soon?
Oh no, there's no way. I'm thinking, is there a way I can learn to fly? Get a Cessna or something, because that's the way to go there. my dentist and friend has a plane, and he goes there to shoot, and I'm going to try to convince him that he should take me.
Why do they choose Pahrump to shoot him? Because they can shoot like crazy and not hit anything?
No, the guy bought 550 acres, probably for 89 cents an acre.
Yeah.
And he had the dreams of building this big resort with a hotel and condominiums and timeshares, but Nye County gave him a hard time about water rights.
Well, my father hadn't been stupid.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be sitting here talking because I'd have enough fuck you money to tell you to blow off.
Hey, they were all that way.
Because my father, when he was working in Tahoe, somebody offered him some land.
Yeah.
And it was shorefront property on Lake Tahoe on the North Shore.
$25 million today.
Well, do you know how much they wanted to sell it to him for?
No.
$25 an acre.
Wow.
And he turned it down because he said, who's going to want to come up here? If he had done that, I'd be very wealthy today.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Well, if our parents did one or two other things that, were insignificant at the time, we'd be all wealthy today.
Right. Well, my weekend was exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last night, my wife, when it's tennis time, there's no living with her in this household, okay? Oh, it's Wimbledon, or what is it now? It's the French Open, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, it's French Open.
Is the French Open?
Do we get the tennis channel, don't we? Yeah, we get the tennis channel. She goes over to the tennis channel. Oh, I can't get this match. Well, why? Because it's on a tennis channel plus. Then I said, and so she clicks around to see how she can get the plus, right? Tennis plus. And next thing you know, she subscribed to it by accident. $109 a year.
Couldn't you get it on one of those torrents?
Torrents? No, that doesn't matter. See, that's not the deal. What I'm saying is, and then I said to her, well, we gotta unsubscribe to this thing.
Can't, huh?
And she said, okay, but you can pay for it. You pay for all the other services. I went, yes, I pay for all the other services, but I couldn't give a good God shit about tennis. Okay?
Yeah. Be nice to her.
So I said, let me go online and see here. And it said, oh, click here to unsubscribe. So I unsubscribed. Well, it turns out it just simply unsubscribed me from being renewed next year. So I still, the $109 was charged to my credit card because that's the credit card on Roku.
Well, you're still a hero.
Wait a minute. I called up, I got a hold of
now you're a zero.
Roku, and I said, I want this reversed. And they said, we can't do it because we don't reverse purchases.
Wow.
I went, you asked me about 10 different questions to establish my identity before we got into this whole thing, to find out if I was the guy who had the account.
Right.
And they went, yeah. And I said, but you didn't do that much for somebody to be able to click subscribe on the goddamn channel. Give me my money back.
Yeah.
And they said, we'll see what we can do. And I got a thing today, and Roku has reversed the charges.
Did she get to watch that match?
No. Because it was tomorrow or something. I don't know.
You went from hero to zero.
Well, I don't want to be a hero, not for $109.
Come on, you cheap screw.
Yeah. And then my other thing, I spent my time watching Lucifer in the second half of its fifth season. What?
Where is Lucifer?
Lucifer's on it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's the -- show right now on Netflix, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Well, I don't see any of those.
Lucifer is it's all about the devil who comes to live in Los Angeles. He's tired of ruling over hell.
Yeah. Well, now he's really in hell.
And he goes and helps a detective solve crimes, and then he falls in love with her. And the whole thing, this latest 6 episodes, or season episodes, second half of 6th season, Dennis Haysbert plays God, Dad, okay? Lucifer's dad. And it's a great, and then God decides he's going to retire. And so they're all fighting to become God.
Well, I tell you, unless it has Claude Van Damme or the other guy with the ponytail, or or Schwarzenegger,
Oh,
or
God.
Rambo, I don't watch it.
Anyway, I better go here because these people are going to want to talk, and, I got to let them, so.
Well, you have a wonderful week, and and a great show. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you.
I'll see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, that guy there, it's here. Oh, well, I already got rid of him. Okay, he got rid of me, actually. Okay. Anyway, let me see here. Let me do a few things here to change stuff so I can get Phil Meyer's name off of the screen. And we got 3 people that are waiting. Oh, boy, this show is getting less and less people all the time. Nobody wants to be a part of this show. Anyway, here they come. Here they come, the citizen panel. Wait a minute, I just hit admit all. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let me see here. And we go like that. And there is Steve, Trucker Steve. And there's Charlie Wallace. And there's Alan. How are you all?
Okay.
Okay. Well, that was
I
exciting, wasn't it?
I have a cold. What do you want me to say?
You have a cold? From what?
I do. Huh?
From what? Most people have not been getting colds this year because they've been wearing masks.
Well, we're lowering the mask thing, and when I go to restaurants, I don't wear a mask. And the person before me probably touched something or coughed. I don't know.
That'll teach you.
Well, that'll teach you, yeah. I mean, do you think we're maybe getting off of this whole thing a little too early?
Yes.
I mean, it's wonderful. Here in New York City, how many deaths do you think we had yesterday?
7.
Try again.
That was exciting, wasn't it?
I have a cold.
Oh, Jeff has the same problem he always has. Jeff, if you just stop the...
I've been getting colds this year.
Oh, there's me. I get to hear my show. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. He has to come back. Let me see here. How many did you say? You said 7, right? Guess again.
It's Charlie's turn.
Charlie?
My turn. Why would I know how many deaths?
You're the doctor of death on this show.
That's right.
Only nationwide.
Hmm?
In Texas.
What is it nationwide?
We had 640 deaths today.
Mm-hmm. And how many in Texas?
In Texas, we had 17.
What did we just lose? We just lost Trucker Steve, too. We keep losing everybody here because of bad connections. How many did you say you lost in Texas?
17.
17. Okay. Any guess on New York again? New York City?
0.
That's correct. No deaths in New York City. In New York State, I think it was, hold on a second. I got it here, I think, yeah. 8 New Yorkers in the whole state. So that's pretty good. And 0 in New York City.
I was listening to you talk to Phil. The one thing Phil did not mention is that when you're in the heat, you don't put sunscreen on your forehead because it runs into your eyes and irritates the shit out of your eyes. So he learned that lesson the hard way.
That's why you wear a cap.
Well, we wear these boonie hats that are, when we're out shooting in the sun, and they wick away. You know what I'm talking about. They wick away the moisture and make you a little cooler.
Really?
And if it's really hot, you just dip the thing in ice water. It soaks it up and keeps your head sort of cool for a while. So
yeah.
But anyhow, he obviously it was warm enough to melt and get into his eyes on the second day that he was at school, I guess. And, it wasn't a good thing. So, learned his lesson, and
Yeah.
he had a good time. He had a good time. It's a good school. It's known around the world and got really good ratings. And all the liberals want to bitch that people are being able to pick up guns without training. Well, this is training.
Mhm.
A lot of people were there for the first time they've ever shot, and
Yeah.
this is training to teach people laws. Using a gun right, when to use, when not to use, that type of thing.
Yeah.
More
Right.
people went to one of these schools, we might have less shootings.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Brian Neary. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Love seeing you at the beach yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, we went. It was very good.
Adrian,
yeah. It was a little foggy in the morning, and then cleared up, and it was really nice.
Adrian looked really happy.
Yeah, she's outgoing. The other two are relaxed, and she kept pulling me out to the water, and the water was so cold. And yeah, she just kept pulling me in,
And she didn't mind the cold water.
No, yeah, she's yelling and screaming, and then kicked me, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I can't yell at her. So
you learned the lesson over the weekend, huh, Brian? I saw on Facebook that when the sign says low clearance, it means to duck.
Yeah. Union Square, we go shopping in Union Square on Saturday, and I park in this quick spot that really nobody knows. And so I park there, and I always make fun of this thing saying low clearance because the beam comes down to here, and my car tucks right in there. And Adrian said, "Oh, Daddy, hold my hand." So I looked down to her to grab her hand, and I'm walking, and the steel concrete was right there, and just bam! Oh my God. I thought I was going to be black and blue, but I just got a chunk of skin taken out. So.
Oh, yeah, we can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
there
that.
you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I was glad it wasn't black and blue. And then I walked and I left, and everyone was so concerned about me. We went down to one of the stores, and then I realized I didn't even have a mask on, and then got a mask. We had, one of the kids carries spares all the time. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's great. Hey, listen, I got a little story for you here. Little bit of news and stuff like that I think you might be interested in. Although you won't be able to see it unless you're looking at our site right now. You're watching our show rather on YouTube. Because somehow I've got to figure out a way that when I have graphics, I can show them to you guys. But I really can't really very easily. I think I can do it because I think I can, but that's too much trouble. So I'm just going to show everybody out there what I want them to see. And first of all, have you heard about Warner Brothers?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about them being bought up by the Discovery Channel? The AT&T, who owned them, sold it to the Discovery people. And here now, folks, is the new logo, right, for Warner's Discovery. Look at that. It's the clouds like they normally have, but it just says Warner Brothers Discovery. Is there something missing there for Warner Brothers? Yes, absolutely there's something missing. What's missing is the goddamn shield. Okay? There we go, see? He's got a picture of it there for us. What's missing is the shield. They've done away with it. They have a motto, this is the stuff that dreams are made of. But no, wait a minute, hold on a second. You got that off my website, right? My Facebook page? Because that's the next thing
I read your Facebook page.
That's the next thing I'm going to show people, okay? Which is, here's what they got rid of. Now, how iconic is that Warner Brothers shield? You know? I mean, when you think Warner Brothers, what do you think of?
Mm-hmm.
The shield. At one point, they did a lousy job. They did some horrible thing years ago where they made it into kind of a funny W, and it looked terrible. And they finally went back to this. And in recent years, in the last year, they've actually gone back to an even older version of that logo that used to be on the early Vitaphone films. It wasn't as extruded like that and was kind of drawn. It's very nice. But the shield is everything. And that's not what you're going to get, folks. What you're going to get is this at the beginning of movies. Come on. I mean, Discovery did this whole thing saying we love the fact that we bought this company because we so love movies and we love people and we love talent and all of that. And then they get rid of this shield. I mean, what kind of fucking morons are they? So everybody should write Discovery and tell them, we don't want this. We want this back. You know, they could have changed something in there where it says Warner Brothers Pictures Incorporated. It could have said Discovery or something like that, or put Discovery above it, or embedded in it somehow. But I mean, keep the shield. That's what people know as Warner Brothers. That's one of the most well-known logos in the world. Am I overstating this?
Somebody probably paid a lot of money to some marketing company and they took it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I agree. It's sad, Alex. You know.
I mean, but they use the term "the stuff that dreams are made of," which is the last line in Maltese Falcon. You know, what is that? He says it's the things that dreams are made of. Says Bogart.
Not a Warner Brothers film, though, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is.
Well, absolutely. Yeah,
Good movie.
Iconic. As a matter of fact, I got this little thing of the Warner Brothers shield off of the Maltese Falcon. So
Okay.
you know, what have you. So I mean, it's just sad. It's really sad.
So I hear that Sidney Powell, I think, is one of the lawyers for Trump, thinks they can just reinstate him and set a new swearing-in date because to continue the lie in the news. She's a mess. Are you kidding me?
Why don't they give up? Okay.
The 20th Amendment says it has to be a certain day when inauguration is. She can't just arbitrarily pick a day and say we're going to swear him in.
But swear him in based on what?
Nothing, obviously, but she thinks she's a wants to further the lie.
He didn't get the electoral votes.
Nope.
Okay.
And it was certified.
And it was certified. And in spite of the riots they had that day, they had the final certification.
Right.
And it's a whole deal. All right. I mean, what are they trying to say? Oh well, no, he's president, and we're going to make him president. What's his name? His friend, Clark. What's his name? The military guy. What?
Michael Flynn.
Michael Flynn. Did you hear what he said? Somebody in the audience at something he was at yelled out or something about. We should take back this country or blah, 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 like they did in, and I can't remember the country now.
It's Myanmar.
Myanmar, right.
Yeah.
And Flynn says, yeah, that's what we ought to do. Take this country back. It's time to do that, or something. And then he walked it back the next day, But, I mean, come on.
So in the news over the weekend, Facebook thinks that the Republicans are going to try and play tricks in the 2022 election to sway the votes in their name. So Facebook is working on some software, supposedly, that's going to be able to pick and choose fact-checking. And they think other companies, social media and stuff, will do the same.
It's really terrible. It's just terrible. I mean, come on. Biden won this election. Get over it.
Right.
All right. Actually, Hillary won the election before it, but she didn't get the electoral votes. So Trump became president, and we accepted it. We didn't sit around going, he can't be president. We're going to put Hillary in November. I mean, come on.
Yep.
What's this idiocy? I don't get it.
Well, she's also being sued for fraud or some stupid thing. 1.3 billion. I don't know who's doing it. This Sidney Powell or whatever
Yeah.
it is, lawyer.
Did you see that? They're suing the My Pillow guy. I'm bad on names tonight, folks, because I took
Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell, and but he is claiming they can't sue his company, and they're saying yes, we can. Because you use company finances and everything like that, and they're saying we can sue you, and they're suing them for billions, and they want the money from the My Pillow company. They're out to put him out of business.
Sad thing,
And I don't blame them because he was out to put them out of business.
right? The sad thing is, it's the most comfortable pillow I've ever slept on.
Oh, give me a break. I hear they suck.
No,
Anybody else here get a My Pillow?
No.
No, none of us were suckers like you.
Well,
this is before I knew that he was a clown. But it doesn't matter,
Well, I wouldn't buy them because I felt he was a clown even when he was selling the pillows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So, anyway, I just, certain things piss me off. I got pissed off yesterday at Roku. I told you that.
Right.
And then now I'm having a bitch fight with Costco Pharmacy because they're having trouble doing a prescription for me through my doctor, who maybe is having his own problems trying to figure out how to do it. So it may be next year before I get my prescription.
Don't they know that you advertise free advertisement for Costco Pharmacy?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like them. I'll tell you, they're very nice when you call them. In spite of what's going on, the problems that are going on, they're very nice and they're very cooperative and they really want to help. So I can't hold it against them. But I've been dealing with that in the last 24 hours. That and the Roku thing, getting my charges reversed because Marjorie decided she wanted the tennis channel and didn't realize when she pushed subscribe, it went on my card. And I said, I pay for Netflix, I pay for Disney Plus with Hulu and ESPN Plus. I pay for, I think, who else do I pay for? I pay for Disney. I pay for, there's one other that I pay for. And I said,
HBO Max.
HBO Max. Well, I pay for because we pay for it through the subscription to HBO. But I do a couple of these things, and I subscribe to them. And I said, I'm not subscribing to the tennis channel. I'm sorry.
Why did she just give you the $109?
Well, she could give me the $109, but I'd rather just have it taken off and her figuring out a way for her to pay for it. She probably could go online to the tennis channel and buy it through them and then be able to get it on her Roku. Okay? That's the way she could do it.
So all these services that you buy benefit you, right?
No, they benefit her. Hell, she gets more money. If I did away with Netflix, she'd have no social life. I mean, she does nothing but go from binging one Netflix show after another. And I told her once, I said, I really would like to get rid of Netflix because Netflix.
No.
Well, I have Netflix 4K. Okay. It costs me. Ready for this? When I first got Netflix, it was $7.95. Now I'm paying $18.95 a month.
Nice.
Okay?
Seems pretty reasonable.
And they keep raising it every year or so, another $2. They're trying to see how far they can go before people go, well, fuck you. This ain't that good. But it really bothers me that it's costing so much. I told her the other day, I said, I really would love to get rid of Netflix. I said, it costs too much, and we shouldn't let him get away with this. No, don't do away with Netflix. Okay, dear, I'll keep subscribing to Netflix. But I find I get more of my money's worth out of the threesome that I get with Disney, which is Disney, ESPN Plus, and Hulu. without commercials, and that's $18 a month, but I get 3 channels for it. And good channels at that. You know. I love Disney Plus. I love my Disney Plus. So, what the hell? You know. Disney Plus alone is only $8 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah. But I got the threesome because I had Hulu without commercials. I just figured I'd put them all on one bill. And what happened was the price that comes out, it's actually like ESPN Plus, which she's happy that we have. Okay. It's a channel I'll never watch. But ESPN Plus is almost free in this bundle for me because with the Hulu and with the Disney, it comes out to about $18. And you add in ESPN Plus, and that's the bonus, you know. So.
You also pay for Gabnet, don't you?
Yes, I also pay for Gabnet as well.
Right. You're such a nice
No,
guy.
what else? I subscribed to something else, and I can't remember what else I subscribed to. We've got Amazon through her because she has an Amazon Prime account, so I get that through her. I get Netflix, I get Hulu that I pay for, Disney I pay for, ESPN Plus I pay for. There's one other, and I can't remember what it is.
How about your union?
What?
Don't you pay for that union?
What do you mean the union?
Don't you have to pay for that a month or something?
My union?
Yeah, the one that dumped you on the.
No, what does that have to do with with subscriptions to?
It's a subscription, right?
No, it's not a subscription. No.
Tune in.
Huh?
Tune in. Get
Pay for tune in.
No.
Should we all guess? I guess you're paying for the NRA.
No, if I had my Roku up, I could tell you all the ones that I get. But I sign on to Paramount Plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I got them for a year at half price, so it's only like $4.25 a month or something like
deal.
that. Yeah, and I kind of like it because we like watching CBS Sunday Morning when it goes on Sunday mornings. But if you go to Paramount Plus, they've already got it up without commercials because I buy it without commercials. So it's really cool, and I enjoy that, that advantage. And then there's Younger is on there and a couple other things I like to watch. A lot of the sitcoms I like watching. It's nice to have them up there, So, what the hell, It's, but otherwise, there's nothing to talk about, really.
How are you feeling? Remember last week you said you were really tired. You was going to take a day off.
Yeah. And then I didn't.
He did. He took Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off.
Yeah, I took Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. But I am tired. There's no question about it. But I'm trying to think about what is there to talk about, and they're really. Like today, everybody was talking Tulsa. 100 years later, Tulsa. They didn't talk about it for the last 100 years, but they decided on its 100th anniversary, Biden was going to go to Tulsa, and they were going to make a big deal out of Tulsa. And I knew about this for years, and so, where was everybody else? Where was Reverend, what's his name? Al Sharpton? All these years talking about Tulsa. As a black citizen of our country, Charlie, how much were you told about Tulsa when you were growing up?
Nothing. Never heard of it until a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And who brought it to the forefront?
Not even a whisper.
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrible footnote in American history. Yep. But, I mean, all of a sudden, making a big deal out of the 100th anniversary is kind of like guilt.
This is the 100th anniversary of the city becoming the city?
No. You don't know about Tulsa?
No, what happened? I know it's in Oklahoma.
How many black people got killed?
Oh, my God.
They don't even know.
They don't know. Hundreds.
Yeah, they don't
hundreds.
know. No, I think it was like
They have to make a big deal, or people like me will go burn down Washington, D.C.
I think I heard 2,500.
Wow.
Is the number I heard.
They just killed them?
Yes.
They burned down, it's called...
Black Wall Street.
Yeah, Black
It was
Wall
called
Street.
Black.
They were completely self-sufficient. They had
Yeah.
doctors, lawyers, teachers, hospitals.
Wealthy black community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they rioted and burned it all down because they were jealous of it.
No, what happened was, what initiated it was there was some black kid who was accused of, I don't know, making a pass on an elevator operator, something like that.
That's bullshit like Emmett Till was.
Yeah, yeah, bullshit like Emmett Till. And they used that as a pretense to riot against this community. And it was terrible. It was horrible. But, you know, to suddenly say, oh, all of a sudden we're feeling guilty that we didn't pay any attention to it for the last, you know, for 90 years out of the 100 years since it happened, you know, and the fact that it was written out of the textbooks in most textbooks around the country. It never, you know, if it was in there, they got erased. To suddenly say that, we're celebrating it today and whatever, I find something wrong with that.
I guess I'll look it up in the news.
You know, I just find
They
something.
killed a bunch of World War I veterans too.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
these were. It was. Sounds like it was very racially motivated.
Well, yeah. Well, it was
Yeah.
but it's ungenerous of people to suddenly today say, "Oh, 100th anniversary." You know, MSNBC is doing wall-to-wall stuff on it, and so on and so forth. Come on, where were you?
Well, I don't know. I think this is the first president that actually is taking the injustices against black people serious.
Well, I think he's taking it seriously. I don't know that he's doing much about it. You know,
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, he's talking the talk. I don't know if he's walking the walk.
I was actually surprised that Barack Obama didn't do better for race relations in this country.
Well, his problem was, and you got to give him credit for this, he was in a very delicate position. And his delicate position was he was black, and he was the first black president. And if he suddenly started doing stuff like that, they would have been all over him. You know.
Yeah, but one of the smartest presidents in my lifetime.
Oh, very bright and very good and very decent, you know. But he, you know, I mean, Barack Obama had to play it close to the vest. Would you agree, Charlie?
Yeah.
You know,
they would have accused him of reverse racism if he had even seemed to favor black rights or whatever.
it's like the first black baseball player in the major leagues.
Yeah. Jackie
like
Robinson.
Jackie
That's what
Robinson.
He had to take it when people spit on him and whatever.
Yeah,
He couldn't
yeah.
fight back.
They say, why didn't he fight back? Well, because number one, the head of the Dodgers, what was his name? God, my mind is just gone today.
Branch Ritchie?
Branch Ritchie. Branch Rickey.
Rickey,
He told him, I'm going to do this for you. You know, I'm going to do this whole deal for you and bring you bring you into baseball, into Major League Baseball. But you got to follow these rules. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, you cannot fight back. Just take it. Okay? Take it with dignity, but just don't react to it. And that was the rule. Now, you could say, well, fuck Branch Rickey, but this guy was taking a chance because there was no other guy in baseball who could or had the power to make this kind of decision. So Branch Rickey was when you talk about Jackie Robinson being the first black player in baseball, how great Jackie Robinson was, hey, take a moment to respect Branch Rickey for what he did, you know. And but he had to do the same thing. When Obama became president, he was in that same position, you know. He couldn't do anything that reacted to racism against him or whatever. God knows there was a lot of racism against him. Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm happy to see that Biden is addressing some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, no. But the question is he addressing it in an effective way?
I don't know.
You know, and I don't think, in all deference to you, Charlie, that this is only a problem against blacks.
Oh,
I mean, I don't see that Mexicans in this country are being treated very well or ever have been, Hispanics. And I don't see, of course,
Muslims.
we have the Asian thing going on right now. We have a rise in anti-Semitism. So, you know, it isn't just blacks, you know, who have got it bad. It's a lot of people who have got it bad. What was that? What was that noise?
Somebody's rubber ducky.
Somebody's rubber ducky. Is that your dog?
No, it's Rocky. Was that Rocky?
Yeah, but now we got Trucker Steve is frozen, so we don't know what Rocky. Did Rocky have a toy he plays with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just talk to us. You're freezing up on us a lot. Where are you right now, by the way? Where are you right now, Trucker Steve?
Frozen.
Yeah, frozen.
Wells, Nevada.
Where? Wells, Nevada?
Marino.
Yeah. Well, they don't have Wi-Fi there yet, I guess. You know.
I'm in the back corner of the lot. That's why.
Yeah. But we can hear you, so anytime you want to talk, just talk. But anyway, so that, you know, I mean, so Obama had to deal with that in the same way that Jackie
I
Robinson
love the
did.
freeze. Oh, that was great.
What?
That Trucker Steve threw a toy, the little thing in the air, and it froze midair.
Oh, the toy froze?
Yeah, midair. That was cute.
It'd be fun if the dog froze in midair. What is that? A rabbit he has? Is that a rabbit toy?
Oh, no, I froze.
What? Oh, wow.
A cow.
No, it's some kind of sheep or lamb.
Oh, okay. What do I know? I didn't
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
the farm.
But Rocky loves that thing.
John,
Yeah.
you know the kids' children's show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, lamb chop. Is that lamb chop?
Lamb chop.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're going to have it on later this week, or maybe not later this week, probably next week. A thing I did with Pearl on famous ventriloquists, and we were like coming up with all these ventriloquists that we grew up with that would show up on television. So you might want to listen to him not this week, but next week on a Friday, because it's a good rundown of ventriloquists on. And Lamb Chop, we forgot to mention her. Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop.
Yeah.
There you go. I just remembered a name. Good for me tonight.
There you go.
The interview you had with Slayton was really good. I don't know if you played that before a show, but I saw it live.
Oh, no, I was testing Facebook. So
That was a good interview, though.
Yeah, it was.
He's going to do stand-up again, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I've got to call him and do a thing with him.
Because that was new, right?
No. That's old. That's
Oh,
old.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I should give him a call. He's very happy to do something with me. It's just a matter of me calling him, and I'm lazy. I'm just lazy these days. I can go, well, should I call him? Shall I do it? Shall I not do it? Whatever. But anyway, so my weekend was very exciting. And then I had to call Amazon and yell and scream at them because I was supposed to get a delivery, and it said it had been delivered, and it's not been delivered. And Amazon, their own Amazon service, is what they're using now. And I like it because you get it the next day. I could order something right now. I'll have it tomorrow at noon.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
If they actually deliver it. But sometimes they leave it in another building, or they don't deliver it at all.
Take a picture of it, don't they?
Well, in this case, they didn't take a picture of it. And so I called them, and they said, okay, you have to wait till tomorrow before you can claim. And I said, no, I'm not going to wait till tomorrow. I want it tomorrow. And they said, oh, okay, we'll do it, But a lot of times I've said it hasn't come, And then 3 days later, it shows up on my front doorstep. I don't know where it came from, how it wound up there, you know. So I got 2 of them, 1 free. So, you know, I always think that's a good deal.
Was it anything good?
Well, and I ordered another USB strip. I wanted one for my other office here, you know.
Yeah, I was Tiffany's dad was over and he saw my iPhone case and he liked it, and then I just went online and ordered it. Yeah, it came by the next morning.
Yeah, no, I mean they've gotten this thing down to a science, but 4 times this month, 3 times for me and once for Marjorie, we didn't get our packages. And we had to call in and have them resend it.
Are they leaving that stuff downstairs?
They shouldn't. A lot of times they bring it up to the door. But you know, you're right. I mean, people could be stealing it. There's no question about that. That's why they should deliver it to the door. But I mean, how much money are they losing? I mean, if it's just me, you know,
apparently not much, because he's made like $100 billion.
Yeah, but I mean, still,
I don't feel sorry for him.
If this is happening, this is not just happening to me, I'm sure. So their new system is working about as well as their rockets are. So you know,
they're making so much money, they're giving out free stuff.
I'm surprised you didn't notify you that it was delivered, because that's the thing that saves me. Is the one time that mine was delivered to the wrong apartment, at least I got the email saying it was delivered and they had the picture there, and I could see it was the apartment across the courtyard.
Yeah.
So I went and got it.
Yes, but I have an apartment. I see here. What I have is I have building 1, building 2, building 3, building 4. Okay, and I have on my address building 3, so they know. Okay. So, is Charlie frozen? I guess Charlie's frozen.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's cute. He's
trying to do magic or something.
Boy, we're having technical problems like crazy tonight. Anyway, what was I saying? So we have building different buildings, and I put building 3 on my address on purpose so they know it's building 3. All right, and so I have building 3 there. And one day they said it was delivered, but it wasn't delivered. There was a picture of and I couldn't figure out where the picture was. So I went down to my lobby to look, and they weren't there. I went over to building 2, it wasn't there. Building 3, 4, it wasn't there. Finally went to building 1, looked in, and I saw where the picture was taken. There were 2 packages there. Now, there's no way I can get into that building. I tried ringing a couple of doorbells, but nobody answered. There's no way I could get in that door, onto that floor. And by then, I had already told them to send me a new one anyway. So basically, I got 2 of what I ordered. You know, they were only little $9 items, but
yeah,
you know. But I mean, it just bothers me that it can't be more efficient about it. Are we losing Jeff? Jeff's falling asleep too. Can I fall asleep? Oh, you aren't falling asleep. Oh, okay. You're wide awake. Jeff, every night you have a problem where you're getting audio from the show. Now,
I'm getting 2 audios.
What 2 audios?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, I think you're. Do you watch the show on YouTube first?
Yeah.
And then you call using Zoom, right?
Right.
Well, you should get rid of the browser. Turn the browser off.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do away with it. You know, because that's where your sound is coming from.
Yeah.
You know, and your browser, your Zoom, is a different thing altogether. So, yeah. Well, let's see here. We lost Charlie. Anybody else going to have technical problems now? You never have. Your picture looks great these days, Brian.
Yeah, I freeze up though. I froze up earlier, so I don't know if you noticed.
Did you really?
Yeah. It's okay.
Sometimes that happens because people's. Do you use Wi-Fi?
Yeah. And then work paid for monitor, camera, all my stuff now. My docking station, they paid for everything since we're staying at home. So.
Oh, okay. But do you use Wi-Fi for this? Yeah, that's the reason you have a problem. I have everything hardwired in here. That's why I never have a problem. Do I
Yeah,
ever?
and I got kids playing games, and then while they're playing the game, they got their iPad and their phone and their friends, and their friends aren't doing anything. Their friends are on Zoom or something, and you can't even see their faces,
Yeah.
like on FaceTime or something. And everyone has like three different devices.
What kind of bandwidth do you pay for?
The top one, it's Xfinity, the 1 terabyte or whatever.
Oh, okay. So 1 gigabyte.
1 gig.
Yeah. So really, they can be doing everything they want to do, and it's not going to slow you down.
Yeah. And then we have the Xfinity app, so I can shut them off when I want to and stuff like that.
Oh, really? Oh, they must love you for that.
Yeah, when they're grounded, it's a lot easier to control.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And they say, "How long have you been playing? You're gonna play games for 10 hours today?" They said, "I'm not playing for 10 hours." And I said, "Dude, look, so far today, Wednesday, Saturday, or
Let
something."
me ask you something. You never had any kids before? Or did you have any kids before this?
No.
Yeah. Were you? Is this your first marriage?
I was married one time before and then got divorced.
Okay, no kids in that marriage then.
No kids.
So this is your first, and you had your first kid at what age?
48.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My real father had 7 kids with 5 different ladies, so I had to break that.
Yeah. Well, how did that change your life the minute Adrian was born?
Car shows stopped for a while, and yeah, it is everything. Yeah.
Well, you know what I was told by people, and I've never had any kids, so I don't know this, and I've never been able to experience. It's not that I didn't want kids; it's just I didn't want their mothers. That was the problem. The mothers came along with the package, and there was a question of trust. One time, Kathleen thought she was pregnant, and so she sheepishly told me that she thought she might be pregnant, and I went, "Great, terrific." The best way for me to have a kid is by accident. And but I never had anything against having kids. As I say, it was their mothers that were the problem. But I never had any kids, but I was told by people that when you have a kid, all of a sudden there's a big change because you suddenly realize there's something in this world that's more important than you.
Mm-hmm. More important than everybody.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean at that point in your life, you're still kind of looking at everything like, hey, me. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And even though you're married to somebody, there's a certain freedom you engage in. But all of a sudden, now you got this little thing that came into the world that's part of you. And it's got to have changed your whole outlook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. But I mean, I was really excited for her to get older and old enough to go in my car with me, and then old enough to go do things with me. That's what I was really excited for. So now every weekend, if I go, even when I come home, she wants to go out, she wants to do stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Because I said that's exactly one of the things that people have told me about kids. Is that for the first couple of years, they're a pain in the ass because you're feeding them, you're diapering them, you're doing all of that. All of a sudden, they're now walking and they're talking and they're starting to become your friend.
She says stuff out of the blue, and I have no idea where she learned it from. So I tell her, I said, "Where did you learn that word from?" And she says, "I don't know." And she keeps talking. She just absorbs everything.
Well, what I'm saying is that here all of a sudden you've got this person that kind of becomes a friend as well. That you hang out with, that you can talk to, that you can have a ongoing relationship with. And by the way, for the first couple of years, she had no need for you. I mean, the day they're born, they're looking for a nipple. They're not looking for daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right, Charlie? Do you feel the same way about having your first kid? I mean, did you suddenly feel a difference in your in your in your uh, in
I
your
wanted
priorities?
I knew I wanted kids. I was prepared to be a parent. I was 36 years old when my oldest was born.
Wow, wow. Yeah, but I mean, did you feel that same what I said responsibility that you went? Now there's something that's more important in my life than me.
I knew it would be before. We had been trying to get pregnant for 2 years before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we
And
were ready.
the big mistake you were making was you thought it was you that had to get pregnant. So,
No.
But see, in the '90s, in the '80s, I was too young. In the '90s, I was listening to you all the time, so you kept talking about the same exact thing at Live 105. So I listened to that, and then later on in my life, I was 2000s. I was going to Vegas all the time and partying with my friends like nonstop until I met Tiffany. When I met Tiffany, I stopped going out. I stopped hanging out with certain friends and sort of settled down already, even before we had Adrian. So. God's right. I've done everything I've wanted to do in life, so I'm a happy man.
Only thing I wasn't prepared for was going 7 years without getting a good night's sleep.
Oh yeah.
well, my mother said that actually, and this is probably a mother thing, that she was told by her mother that when you have a child, you always sleep with one eye open for the rest of your life. You know, it's like there's just this thing, you know, and this responsibility, and this fear that something could befall this child. You nodded yes, Jeff.
Oh yeah. I got 3 kids, so.
You have 3 kids.
Yeah.
How old were you when you had the first one?
How the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like 30 or something like that.
Yeah. So you were well into the point of your life where you could have children and care about having children and be a good father and so on. Yeah.
You get that attachment, like you're saying. I mean, the worst thing for any kind of parent is to have to bury their children. My grandparents had to bury my mom, and I buried the rest of them. But man, I just, for something, to happen to your child is just like, I can't. I know something's going to happen, when she gets hurt or something one day, but man, it's just very emotional. So,
well,
yeah, it's like you get that care so much, but then, you drive 80 miles an hour on the freeway or something, and she's in my Cadillac and stuff like that. But then, man, if something ever happens, I just cannot believe, you hear a lot of the stories of people going through, with kids and stuff like that. Man, I can't imagine some stories you hear.
Yeah.
Pam, my wife Pam is part of a non-profit organization, and it's her friend created it because as she was a child, her brother died when he was young and she was young, and nobody in the family quite knew how to handle that. And so she wrote a child's book on how to handle if somebody in the family has died.
Yeah.
And it's something at like a 4-year-old level. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, but obviously this happens to people, and it's unexpected,
Yeah.
Yeah, I read a lot about grief. My mom passed away when I was 13, and I was in her custody because my parents got divorced when I was 3. So she was everything. I'd go play sports out front with all the kids, and when she pulled up, I'm done. I go in and I sit down in the kitchen while she cooked, listen to her day. And so when she passed away, I read a lot about grief, and there's a lot of stuff, like they say, like when you have a dog or something, if your dog dies, your kid's dog dies, you shouldn't, the first thing you think about is go and you get another dog, to comfort them. And then they really never learn about grief. They never learn about that loss of that dog. So they talk about a lot of stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's
Who is it? Carlin had a joke about having a dog and the dog died, and you take it back to the place where you got the dog from and say, well, here, I don't need this any longer. Can you give me a new one? Do I get a replacement on this? But death of an animal, they say, is the second worst form of grief, oddly enough. Death of a parent or a child or somebody close to you is number 1, but Number two is a pet, you know. And since most of us are going to have parents that live to a ripe old age, and since we're going to have animals, we're going to have kids that, don't do anything else but just disappoint us. That you're going to have to face the death of an animal, because anytime you buy one, hey, the life expectancy of a dog's about 13 years, and the life expectancy of cats go up around 18, 19 sometimes. And you're going to have to deal with that someday.
I find that it's
10 pets die.
You've had
Wow.
10 pets die? How many have I had?
Die. Oh my god.
Well, I had 5, so they died.
I think
And
it's
it's
easier.
I had
to put
about
your
10. I
mother
had
to
probably
sleep.
somewhere like that. Yeah, in my lifetime. You don't get a pet anymore, right? You don't have a pet anymore.
No, that's why I won't get one now.
Well, I won't get one because I figure he's going to sit here looking at me and saying, "Have a good time, pal, because I'm going to be here after you're gone." And so if I can have a pet that they, when pharaohs died, they killed their pets and buried them with them. So.
Oh yeah. So you have all your animals waiting for you to die. You're gonna bury
Yeah,
them.
right. Well, they also used to kill all the people that worked for the pharaoh as well. So, and buried them with him.
Yeah, and I have some friends, some car friends that don't have kids, never had kids, but they have pets.
Yeah.
And that's their number one thing, and they treat them like their own kids.
Well, Marjorie keeps saying we should get a pet, and I'm going, any pet we get's going to outlive us. Okay?
Unless they get hit by a car.
Well, unless they get hit by a car.
That's what happened to one of our dogs.
Oh man.
Let's see here. Well, I had a couple of cats when we lived in the country, because we let the cats out. The cats went wandering through the hillsides, and then we'd come home, of course, for dinner. And one day they don't come home, and you wonder, are they coming back? And sometimes they do come back after 3 or 4 days looking very bedraggled, like they were out for a heavy shag. And other times they just never came back. And in a way, that was almost easier than knowing they'd been hit by a car or, whatever.
Well, if they didn't come back, they were probably eaten by a bear or a hawk or something.
You know who? I had a friend who had a cat killed by an owl.
Yeah.
Owls are birds of prey,
Yep.
and quite viciously so. And they can actually pick up cats and fly away with them.
Oh.
Yeah. But close Rocky's ears while we're talking about this, so he doesn't get scared what we're saying.
When I went to Hawaii in Maui, when I saw Howard, there were chickens everywhere. We're walking down the street to go to dinner with them, and there's just chickens running around everywhere.
Mhm.
On Maui, yes.
Let's see here.
We have a
Well,
bobcat.
Andy Firth says, well, I'll leave Bobblehead and Alex's Amazon problems to the rest of you. Building 2, Building 3. Alex has hit absolute bottom. Have a good night. You know what I can do to Andy Firth? I think I can hide the user on this channel. Okay. He can never be on this channel again. Okay.
Bye-bye.
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 Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to
Gotta
sit
go
here.
to the Trump-
I don't have to sit here and put up with this shit, do I? No.
Yeah, I don't remember him being on before either. Andy Firth.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, hey, listen. It's been a nice little chat we've had here, in spite of the fact that Andy didn't like it.
Kiss my ass, Andy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're Mr. Bobblehead. You
Yeah,
realize.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Anyway, hey, listen, that's it for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. A little light on the number of people here, but what the hell? It's still a nice bunch of people, and I enjoyed talking with you. And built from Building 3, which is right next to Building 2, which is right across from Building 1, and next to Building 4, this is Alex saying goodnight to Mr. Bobblehead. Good night to Trucker Steve and Rocky from a place that barely has Wi-Fi. Also, thanks to Jeff and thanks to Brian. Always good talking to you, Brian. And you too, Charlie. Good to talking to the guys who have kids. Anyway, everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. And there they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel. They'll probably all be here tomorrow night, and I hope some of you will be here as well. A little light tonight, but what the hell. We'll see you again tomorrow night, right here. Same time, same station in life. The Intersection is next with Jack Bishop. Until tomorrow, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, get a vaccination if you don't have one already. And if you get it, don't get it, then wear a damn mask. But do something, okay? Anyway, we'll see everybody. Thanks so much.